Rays kicked off their 7-game homestand in style with a 4-game sweep of the Kansas City Royals. However, tonight, the task gets just a little bit tougher, with Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez leading the Boston Red Sox into town to open a 3-game set. Tonight we welcome you to Tropicana Field. The homestand continues for the Rays. Coming off a sweep of Kansas City tonight, the Rays will open this series with the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays finished the last road trip 5-4. They've taken the first 4 games on this homestand, sweeping Kansas City. And they've done that largely on the strength of the depth of their pitching staff.
Yeah, and you know what? The Rays pitching staff, they will certainly be challenged in this series against the Boston Red Sox, but oh, what a job they have done over their last 9 games. And from A to Z, everybody getting involved. You see Blake Snell, Jalen Beeks, are going to see him tonight. Everybody needs to chip in for this to work. And how about the numbers? ERA of 2.16, that opponent's average of just 199. And how about this? They've only given up 5 home runs over the last 9 games. They force opposing offenses to have to put together innings against them. Not an easy thing to do. On the other side, Mookie Betts, well, what can you say about this guy? You look across the American League leaders in offensive categories, and Mookie Betts is right there in average on-base percentage, slugging, lightning quick hands, and that ability to sit back, excellent pitch recognition. And so he's able to sit back longer than most guys before firing that bat through the zone and doing damage to opposing pitchers.
Well, this series against the Boston Red Sox this weekend, truly a situation where you can't tell the players' nicknames without a Players' Weekend scorecard. We'll do our very best to keep you informed and up to date on this Players' Weekend. When we come back, Michelle Margot will give you her take.
beginning of Major League Baseball Players Weekend. It is the second consecutive weekend that MLB has done this for the players, or second consecutive year that the Major League Baseball has done this for the players. They get to showcase their personalities. Not only are the team's jerseys different colors, but also they get to use uniquely designed socks and equipment, bats, etc., you name it. And most notably, they get to have specific nicknames that they have chosen for themselves on the back of their jerseys. Let's take a look and listen to why they chose some of the nicknames that they chose.
The Kid.
And who gave you that nickname?
In Low A, my first year here, they used to call me like that in West Michigan. You know, they announced the players to when they were coming to the field. So when I was coming in, they were like, "Oh, now playing shortstop from the Dominican Republic, Willie the Kid, Adamas." So after that, everybody started calling me like that.
Yarbitron.
Yarbitron. How did you come up with that?
So it's a little bit more fun than Yarb. Obviously, a lot of guys call me Yarbs, and people in college, and then people from back home say the Yarbitron a little bit. And obviously, you want to have some fun with it. It's a weekend, so I feel like Yarbitron was a little bit more fun than just Yarbs.
Why do people call you Yarbitron?
I don't know. Something about Transformers, Megatrons. I don't know. It just sounds something cool. I don't think there's anything specific behind it. It's just a fun little name to have some fun with.
Coming up after the break, your Tampa Bay Rays kick off Players Weekend by going for their 6th consecutive win. This time, they'll face the Boston Red Sox. Diego Castillo will open up Game 1 here in just a moment. First pitch from Tropicana Field when we come back.
Diego Castillo will head to the mound for the Rays tonight as the opener against the Red Sox, as he did in Boston last Sunday when the Rays put together a combination shutout, defeating Boston 2-0. We'll take a look tonight at the starting lineup for the Red Sox, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Mookie Betts leads it off, followed by Andrew Benintendi, And then Steve Pearce, J.D. Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, and Ian Kinsler down the middle. Eduardo Nunez, Blake Swihart, Jackie Bradley Jr. rounding out the lineup. And Castillo's first pitch offered and fouled. It's out of play. So we are underway here. 10 minutes past the hour.
Oh, there's Samana. This is his second opportunity to open. That first time, Dwayne, he talked about it with the Red Sox. Inning and 2/3, gave up just a hit, 19 pitches.
Another foul ball. This one straight back and out of play by Betts. Betts leading the league in hitting at .340, in the top 10, 9th in home runs. Puck out of Boston. The MVP will be decided between Betts and J.D. Martinez. 2 or 3 other guys in that conversation as well, as Betts takes a call, third strike.
I was going to say, my sources out of Cleveland tell me it's going to be between Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez.
That's right. And there's still a guy named Trout somewhere out there on the West Coast. It's going to be fun here the last few weeks of the season to figure that one out.
No question about it. Let's look at the Rays defense, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Lau, Kiermaier, and Gomez. Across the infield, third to first, Duffy, Adames, Wendell, and Bowers, with Michael Perez behind the plate.
Now Andrew Benintendi is 10th in the league in hitting at .297. Takes a big cut and misses. Strike one.
Do you think that the adrenaline is pumping or what? You can feel it in the building. That fastball by Castillo, 100 miles an hour.
It's a foul ball out of play. 0-2. Well, there's always that conversation about Castillo, if he will eventually be the Rays closer. He's got that kind of stuff. But right now, he's the opener, and he's focused on that.
Well, we saw the Rays do this with Ryan Stanek, put him up at the front end and watch him blossom in that role. Makes him even better when he's in the back end.
And back-to-back strikeouts right here.
101. That was the start of a computer program. Samana with some heat.
Here it is again, trying to catch up with that pitch up at 101. Steve Pearce is playing first base, hitting third. 10 home runs overall, 6 of those since coming to Boston. Late Lightning.
Oh, by the way, the story behind his nickname is awesome. Capital A.
Pitch is down.
Well, listen, he's talking about the fact that not always in the starting lineup. You know, he's a guy that's he's a mid player, gets a couple of starts a week, gets some late inning pinch hit appearances, and that's what I do. I bring late lightning.
We saw some of that in his tenure here with the Rays. Really a great guy to have on the team with that kind of bat and some versatility as well. Hey, there's a strike on the outside corner dropping in. 2-1.
I can make an impact on a game, and you always don't have to be in the starting lineup. Defensive replacement, pinch runner, pinch hitter.
Just missed. Take the count to 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, that makes sense. You've got Skinny on deck. J.D. Martinez. He had the 38 bombs.
Strike at 99, and the count is full. Well, you see all these pitches from Castillo. I'm not sure he can throw a pitch straight. Everything has movement.
And you know, at the velocity that he throws at, you think about the arm side run that he gets, the little dart on the slider. Of course, he's not trying to throw those straight.
And that's a pop-up on the right side. Bowers there to make the catch. And a 1-2-3. In the opening inning, bottom of the first coming, no score. look at the starting lineup for the Rays and a special treat tonight here on Players Weekend. Let's go to Carlos Gomez.
Leading off, Mendo. Batting second, Doofman. Batting third, JB. Batting fourth, G. Batting fifth, The Kid. Batting six, The Outlaw. Batting seven, El Final. Batting 8, Law. Batting 9, Mikey.
There you have it, top to bottom from Carlos Gomez.
And I'm going to say that El Final, and the way that he said that, I'm guessing that's him.
That's him. That would be one and the same.
Church that one up a little bit.
Well, Hector Velasquez will do the pitching. Cabezon on the hill. A little research and found a couple meanings to that.
Well, Dwayne, it's Spanish for stubborn. It could also mean scorpion fish, or maybe it's a stubborn scorpion fish.
Why not? Well, here's Mendel, and he takes a strike. Mendel early on referenced by that when his name was not all that recognized, not a household name when he started this year, but he's having a rookie season. He's having a household name type of rookie season here, hitting .289 to start this game. Behind in the count, 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We saw Velasquez in Boston in his last start. First time he's made back-to-back starts for Boston. Overall, this is his 6th start, 37th appearance. He pitched in that same game that Castillo was the opener at Fenway on Sunday, where he's got 1 run in 4 innings off him. And a little piece of that one. Wendell connected against Velasquez in the 2nd inning of that game. Hitting his 7th home run of the year off the Boston right-hander. Pitch is popped up on the infield left side. That's Nunez, the 3rd baseman.
Now let's quickly take a look at the Red Sox defense, see how it's going to line up here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source, and in the outfield left to right, we've got Benny, JBJ, and Flacco. Across the infield, 3rd to 1st, Nooney, Bogey, Bootsy, and late Lightning with Swy behind the dish.
Well,
I'll leave.
Matt Duffy.
I'll leave.
I liked it. No flair. Duffman fouls it back and out of play. Strike 1.
I'm wearing my 16 pieces, Dwayne. Bare minimum.
Duffy starts the night at .295. Upstairs. Rays coming off that sweep. They run their record to 67 and 61. Cut and a miss. Of course, the Red Sox off and running right from the very beginning this year. They're now 90 and 39. Alex Cora has had this club out in front all year. Duffy is out on strikes. So 2 up and 2 down. Here's the thing about that. When you think about playing this club, the Rays are 5 and 11 against the Red Sox. With a win tonight, they could become the first team this year to win 6 games against Boston in a season series. So they're 5-11. The Yankees are 5-8 against them inside the division. Bowers fouls it away. Toronto 4-12 and Baltimore 2-14.
It'd be interesting to see the layout of everybody else, because you know the teams outside your division you're going to play maybe 7 times, and we know that they're not winning too many of those, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, Oakland went 4-2. How about that?
And that could be a playoff matchup at some point.
Yep. Oakland right now a game and a half behind Houston to start the day. After catching them and going up by a game, they're a game and a half back.
Well, it was after they tied him up that following game the Astros put up 10. I think they're feeling the sense of urgency.
Pitch up is foul right back.
Nice little play by Swai with quick hands. That ball hard off of the backstop, and he turned around, gloved it midair.
You know, he catches them coming and going. He's made no errors this year, no pass balls. Take a look at that.
Pretty good.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2-3 first for Boston against Castillo. First 2 men have been retired in the bottom of the first. Bowers down in the count. And he is out. Went after the high fastball. Chased one up out of the zone. We go to the second. J.D. Martinez will lead it off. No score. Castillo, the Florida Lottery jackpot stat as J.D. Martinez prepares to step in. Well, talk of a triple crown run for him. Second in hitting now and second in home runs. First only in runs batted in. A lot of ground yet to cover.
Well, you've got to catch Chris Davis in home runs from Oakland, and you got to catch your own teammate Mookie Betts in average. He's at 340.
Martinez bounces one foul. You know, that'll be the big question. Boston on its way to winning the division, and they hope more than that with this imposing record and the imposing offense they have, led by J.D. Martinez and Mookie Betts. And if they both finish strong, which one of those guys would be the better contender if it came down to them? And we mentioned the other, certainly other 3 legitimate contenders for the MVP award. But if you come down to Betts and Martinez, how do you go?
I would say this, and there are 2 different ways to make an argument. But I would think that one of the things that you could go to, a lot of people go to, J.D. Martinez, primarily DH type. Mookie Betts leads the world in defensive runs saved, any defensive metric you want to put out there as far as outfielders go, corner outfielders go. Mookie Betts, one of the best, if not the best in the game. And I think that defensive side of things certainly helps his argument out a lot.
Yeah, and my take on that is if J.D. Martinez is going to win the MVP, he's probably got to win the Triple Crown.
And that's probably a great way to put it. If you're going to be primarily a hitter only, yeah, sweep him. Sweep him. That makes sense.
Pitch to Bogaerts is down. Martinez struck out swinging, third strikeout for Castillo. I mean, he's having a monster year without question. And people say, well, he's made the difference because Mookie was with the Red Sox last year. Martinez wasn't. But you could flip that. Here's a soft fly ball into center, going to fall in front of Kiermaier. And Bogaerts is aboard with a base hit. He continues to be a major thorn in the side of Rays pitching. Our Toyota inside look, taking a look at what we were talking about here earlier. And Chris Davis with that home run and run output, he's pushed his way into the conversation. I mean, I don't know that you want to leave out Lindor, but there's a guy who has a shot to be considered in the combination of the conversation. Ian Kinsler. Strike on the outside corner. Kinsler at 240 with 13 home runs. Been in 9 games with Boston. 4 runs batted in. Beeks starting to loosen in the Rays bullpen up the right field side. And a big cut pulling off fastball. Trying to get it started early, and the count is 0-2. Castillo saying the other day that opening role he thought helped him in an interview. He thought he was a little bit out of kilter, lack of focus the last few times out, and running out there as the opener helped to sharpen his concentration.
It hit better. I mean, you are the guy taking the reins and getting things started off. So you come in very well prepared. You're thinking about it all day, knowing, sometimes you wonder, am I going to pitch tonight? I'll be ready, but am I going to pitch tonight? Well, if you're going to open or start, you know it.
Still a ball, 2 strikes here. Kinsler.
Well, we saw how it benefited Stanek and how now he can go out there. He's really flourished in that role as opener. And now, Kevin Cash, maybe the next day, will bring him out in the 7th for a couple of hitters or for a full inning. So he's able to fulfill both roles, and I'm sure that Diego Castillo, they're looking at him the same way.
Foul ball, reaching out to make contact and prolong the at bat.
Boy, how about that fastball, 98-99 with some run, middle in. Make sure it's up. But you see Kinsler, those last 2 swings really leaning out across the plate.
And a fastball powered by him out there on the corner at 98. 4 strikeouts for Castillo. 2 outs here in the 2nd.
I guess if you're going 98, 99, you go wherever you want with it. He just, straight to the edge. Great location. He has been sharp. Boy, what a difference this is right here. 18 out of 23 strikes. The biggest issue that you find with Diego Castillo is strike throw.
Yep.
And if you solve that problem, he will become as dominant as you can get.
Yeah, that's elite stuff there. That strike to ball ratio. Pitch inside.
I just went back and looked at some stuff on Diego, and coming into this appearance, he was sitting. The major league average is 61% first pitch strikes. He was sitting at 44.
That's amazing, isn't
44. it? And by the way, then you look at 2 of the first 3 pitches, and he was way below major league average, which means that he starts out in a 2-1 count more often than almost anybody out there. Tough way to pitch.
Yeah, he's had to do a lot of hard work. When you fall behind most of the time.
So you're looking at 18 out of 23 now, and 19 out of 25.
Yes, big turnaround. Well, the focus is sharpened. It's a liner into right center field. Over to cut it off, Kiermaier. Bogart's on his way to third, and he will stop there. First and third on the base hit by Nunez.
Surprised that Nunez was able to get up to that pitch. Not quite tomahawk, but boy, right at the top of the strike zone, he's able to get up there and meet the elite heat. 4-seam fastball up, and Nunez let her high. He's able to get that ball out into right center. How about that?
And with that hit by Nunez, that's going to be it for Diego Castillo. Pitching change coming. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Spin on a classic. They're loaded with prizes from $10,000 to $2 million. So unleash the excitement anytime. The Florida Lottery. Get your ticket, claim it.
Well, Jalen Beeks coming out here for the Rays, and what he did his last time out, very impressive. Against the team that traded him, it was the Nathan Eovaldi trade. Jalen Beeks goes back to Fenway Park, where he said he wanted to pitch, and he wanted to pitch against his former team. Well, he did a little bit more than that. 4 innings, he pitched extremely well, gave up just the 1 hit, gets some help from his defense there. No runs, picked up a win in that ball game, and coming out here tonight and looking to do the same thing. In fact, the first outing with the Rays did not go well. The 4 since then, he's been excellent.
The first man he faces is Swihart, the switch-hitting catcher. From the right side, he takes the first pitch down and in for a ball.
I think, too, Dwayne, on the back of Swy's jersey, if you're going to go Swy and you can use emojis.
Sure, why not?
Just do the Swy and the heart emoji.
Great idea. I like your creativity tonight. 2-0. I mean, you're fast tonight.
I mean, that's fine. That right there, fine. You want to Swy, that's great. But Swy with a heart emoji?
That'd be great.
Be legit.
Yes, it would. You should be in charge of player weekend.
But you know what? It's player weekend. It's what Swy wanted.
Yeah.
He didn't want anything to do with that heart emoji. That's just something some dopey broadcaster was thinking for him. I get it.
Yeah, and what do they know?
What do they know?
Really, that's right. I'm with you there.
Every afternoon when I'm tying my tie, I'm just like, you're fooling them again. Another night of fooling.
There you go.
While I'm listening to Foolin' by Def Leppard.
There's a fly ball not too deep to left. Lau's going to come in, better angle, and he makes the catch in front of Adames. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Bottom of the second coming, no score. Cuba, WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. By Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second. The G-Man leads it off for the Rays. Takes a cut and a miss. Strike one. G-Man Choi up here. That's a liner into right. That ball's going to roll all the way to the wall. Choi's going to dig for 2. Martinez will make the throw, and in there standing is Choi with a double. Choi has 3 plate appearances now against Velasquez, and he's been on base every time. Had a single and a walk up in Boston, a double his first time up tonight.
And you see where Swai was set up. He's set up away, and Velasquez pulls that pitch across the plate. I'm going to tell you what, G-Man Choi, be careful missing your spots against him. Well, you go back and dig into some numbers on him. He hits the ball hard. A lot of barrel to the baseball for Choi.
108 that time.
Yeah. Well, that's not surprising. I mean, he really
packs a wallop.
Yes, he does.
There's Willie Adames. Kid takes the pitch down. 254 over the last couple of weeks. Over 370. 12 games, 375.
I like the nickname too. I mean, Willie the Kid.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you love Young Guns. You love the true story of Billy. So the Rays have their version of Willie the Kid.
And so far, we really enjoyed that story. It's been fun to watch. It's short and
it's getting better
at the plate. Yeah, better. It's like a good novel. We got Willie the Kid up and the Outlaw on deck.
Ooh, that's a combo. We got to keep them together really all weekend then.
It's down 3-1. The Outlaw has a matching bat.
powder blue, and you got the
foul back, and it's 3-2. The two-tone bat there for the kid.
You know what? And I think it's paying homage to the Dominican Republic. There's a Dominican flag on there. It's somewhere. We'll see it once he barrels one up. You'll be able to see the flag flashing through the zone. Right now hidden.
And he takes a walk. First 2 men aboard for the Rays in the second inning. The Rays trying to build an inning. 2 men on with nobody out for Kevin Kiermaier. How about the shoes?
How about them? Man, they got free reign this weekend. And Ozzie went with Timmons. Standard?
Mm-hmm. Kiermaier lifts it foul. That's going to be out of play. Puts him down in the count, 0-2. Kiermaier put together a few hits in the Kansas City series and got the average over 190, 192 to start. It's been a long march for him. Gomez on deck, way upstairs that time. Swihart with quite a reception.
And you know what? He really saved the Rays from having runners on second and third. I mean, going way up there, fully stretched to flag that down.
Vasquez catches his breath out there, stepping back. Beginnings of a nice inning where he's trying to cash in on it. Upstairs again. 2-2. Kiermaier out on strikes, third of the evening for Velasquez.
Now those fastballs up in the zone, all of that used to set up the slider down and in, and able to just get it underneath that swing. In fact, a little bit of a foul tip right there into the glove of Swihart.
Here's Carlos Gomez. El Final up there.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy.
The man, Wayne. Just the man.
It's his down 1-0.
The end all be all. That kind of says it right there. And that bat kind of seconds it.
Runners take off. The pitch is a ball. Swihart can't find the handle. And the Rays pull off a double steal. Choi to third. Adames up to second. So both men now in scoring position.
Well, you talk about picking the right pitch to run on. It's the split. And they're running on the split, and it's a split in the dirt. That ball gets stuck up near the palm of the hand right at the top of that glove, and he just cannot come up with it. If he had a chance down at third base, but tough pitch to handle.
Steal number 6 for Adames, the second in as many attempts for Choi. 2 for 2. The 2-0 count. Ooh, a foul ball. Down goes Gomez. 2-1. Take a listen. Yeah, there's nothing he does that's ordinary. High chop down to third. Play's going to be to first. Out there, run scored. Still back to third, not in time. Choi crosses the plate. Adames moves to third on that chop. A run batted in for El Fanal. And the Rays have the lead. You know, the chopper, Dwayne, is going to cause Nooney to not be able to make the play at home plate. You're going to concede that run because it's a chopper, but if he'd peeked to his left, you had a chance to get Adames at second base. Here he is, going to go on contact. And here it is. Chop, chop, chop. Get it? Boy, if he turns, look where Adames is, well off the bag. He takes a peek at him. You get him in the immediate rundown, get that lead runner. Instead, Lau fouling one back, a strike. The Rays get 1 run out of this so far. 29th run batted in for Gomez. One and one. Perez on deck. Mikey. Two and one. Thomas down at third. Pitch foul back. Now to play it goes, and the count is even. 2-2. Upstairs, and the count's full. Wow, starts to go, checked in time, and he takes the walk. And Lau, a nice job there trying to check his swing and leaving nothing in his mind to any doubt about it. Immediately said, that's high and I'm going to head to first. And then at some point afterward, Manny Gonzalez says yes, he held up. Men on the corners for Michael Perez.
He yelled across the diamond at him, said, I told you.
Yeah, don't even worry. Players weekend, a player will make the call. .283 for Perez. Lifts it the other way, and that's headed for the stands. Strike one.
I'll tell you what, a 2-out hit here obviously would be huge for the Rays. Get you another run, maybe 2, depending on where he hits it. At minimum, you've gone through the order already 1 complete time. So even if Perez makes an out, you start off that 3rd inning right back at the top of the order where these guys have already had a look at Velasquez, and you get right back to work.
The pitch foul back. Bluff of a start by Lau. And it's 0-2. Gomez drove in to run with that chop to third. Talking it over there with Tommy Pham. He's available off the bench. That's what we hear.
Yeah.
Fantastic, by the way.
Fantastic, and El Final having a little convo. Just a couple of days ago, dislocating, I think it was that middle finger or ring finger, actually.
The shot lifted into right center field. On the run, the center fielder stretches out. Bradley Jr. cannot corral it. One run is in. Adames has scored. Here comes Lau. It's a double for Perez, and the Rays make it a 3-run inning. Michael Perez delivers the big hit for the Rays here in the second inning. That ball had some airtime, and Bradley came close. Boy, he covers lots of ground out there.
Listen,
and here's a look.
Mikey drills this thing, and Jackie Bradley Jr., watch the layout. I mean, you just cannot give better effort or more clean of a dive, and that ball right off the end of his glove. It was that close. That was that close of being the catch of the year.
Well, he made that great catch against the Rays up in Boston, and he almost duplicated and maybe surpassed that. I'll tell you, this came close to being an unbelievable grab.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, that one blows that one in Boston away because of how long he's in the air. I mean, he went airborne and just lamenting right there because came down and 2 runs in for the Rays. Two more runs in.
Rays make those 2 walks hurt. Both those men have scored. 3-0 now, and here's Joey Wendell with Perez at second base. He's under this one. Lofts it into right for J.D. Martinez, who makes the catch. Rays send 7 men to the plate. They scored 3. 3-0 at the end of 2.
The third, and with Jackie Bradley Jr. coming to the plate, let's look at a scouting report on him. And I'll tell you, how about some interesting tidbits? Deep impact. You know, when Jackie Bradley Jr. has at least 1 RBI in a ball game, the Red Sox 30-2. At least 1 extra base hit, 31-3. And if he scores a run, at least 1 run, they are 43-6. So Jackie Bradley Jr. affecting the game offensively. And how about this? Elite defender. We almost saw that the last half inning with that dive and attempt at a catch. But more times than not, he seems to be able to make those type of plays.
Yeah, we've seen, as we reference that catch he made at Fenway, and then this attempt here. Impressive indeed. 1-0 the count. Bradley Jr. takes a strike. Well, the push-ups back in vogue.
Got 30 of them.
I tell you, Ozzie getting into great shape.
I think he was able to negotiate down, like, if the Rays score another run in the half inning, he does just 10, not 40 on top of it.
Yeah, I think that's the sensible thing to do.
His tendons, ligaments, joints thanked him.
2-2. Here he is. Not a problem. Knock those out. He'll take a couple more. They can put some runs on the board next inning. Jalen Beeks on the hill for the Rays, facing Bradley to begin the third. Then the top of the order, Betts and Benintendi. The pitch very close right there, but he didn't get the call from Angel Hernandez, and the count is full.
You know, that's another change I would have made. Anyway, take a look at that fastball first you're talking about. It was 93. See how he has to reach across the plate? While that pitch with the strike zone right there looks good, the presentation not so much, because that glove is outside of the body. Those have that tendency to not get called, even though they may have caught some plate.
Yeah, and historically, Angel Hernandez, he'll give you a little room to work with on either side of the plate. He'll widen his zone a little bit for you. There is strike 3 call. He takes care of Bradley Jr. First strikeout for Beeks, and strikeout number 5 for Rays pitching.
Maybe talking about that pitch right there, him, Michael Perez, but he locks him up on a fastball here. Jackie Bradley Jr. just not able to pull the trigger, and understanding quickly that was right down the middle, and his at-bat was over.
There's a pitch. Appeared to be on the inside corner and did not get that call.
That's the same thing. Perez is reaching for that ball outside of his body. Just like that.
2-0.
Now, what I was going to say was that would be another change as far as the players' weekend goes. The gentleman on the mound, Beaker.
Yep.
I would have just gone with Clarence.
That'd have been a great idea.
The problem is that movie came out before he was born, so he has no idea. But had he,
yeah, but you think, you know, he went to college, he went to the University of Arkansas, and you'd think as his freshman year, as part of general studies, he would have had a film appreciation class. It was a great class. You just go to class and watch movies all day.
And it's one of the iconic last names of any truly great comic.
Yeah.
I mean, every time you say Beeks, it gets a chuckle because everybody thinks of Clarence.
Absolutely. That would have been a great name. We would have enjoyed it. I don't know how many other folks.
And he may not. Again,
yeah.
It's personal preference.
Hey, here's a matchup between the former teammates. Arkansas against Arkansas. Benintendi against Beeks. Beeks, Arkansas through and through. He was born in Fayetteville, home of the University of Arkansas.
I wonder if he went to the dorms or just lived at home.
Which is upstairs. What would you have done? You would have gone to the dorms or found something off campus.
I would have gone to the dorms. Yes, I would have. I wanted to start to experience living on my own, becoming responsible, but always.
Yeah, we're all still working on that. Ooh, did he go? He did not. Again, ball down at third, and the count is 1-1.
I was thinking about taking some classes in the offseason at the University of Tampa to move into the dorms and start to become responsible, accountable.
Yeah.
You're never done learning.
That's right. That's right. You're never. At least we should think that we are never done learning. See,
right?
I think you could get those wires out of the way. You never learn that.
No.
But we're trying. We're trying to get better.
Oh, look at that, Statsy and Brewhead.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Our weekend names.
Well, Broadcasters Weekend, we can put anything we want up there. Nobody asked us if that's what we wanted up there, but that's all right. We're happy that they're thinking about it.
They are.
You know?
They are. They went out of their way to add a little Y on the end.
Yep.
They went statsy for you.
Mm-hmm. And Brewhead.
But I've been yelled about mine for the past year, so they knew that one.
There's a big cut and a miss. Well, that takes the count to 2-1. After a little visit from Kyle Snyder.
Now you're trying to get Beeker right back into the zone. Attack the zone just like he did his last time out against this lineup. 4 innings of 1-hit baseball.
And now he's back even in the count, 2-2.
You wonder about the deception. You know, Jalen just threw 2 fastballs, low 90s, right down the heart of the plate, and Benintendi comes up empty at 2 big swings.
Benintendi big going to the opposite field, and he is out on strikes. Forget that. He went up with the fastball a little extra and strikes him out. And a nice job by Beeks.
That's why Kyle Snyder's so good. That's a great visit. Go out there and say, hey, listen, I want 3 fastballs out over the heart of the plate, 2 down, and then the 3rd one up and out over. This one at 93, and again, a swing that comes up empty. Right by him.
Yeah, you become a favorite of the pitching coach when he comes out and then goes back in and you do that. He really likes you.
And you're not making any of that up. That's not even a little bit of a embellishment. That's 100% fact.
1-0 the count on Steve Pearce. Takes one of those in once in a while, 1-1.
That's becoming such a good weapon for Beeker. That cutter in. He plays the changeup off of that down and away, so he covers both corners of the plate, has the fastball to go with it. And then occasionally you're going to drop that curveball for a big change of speed.
2-1.
I think that a guy like Beeker completely fits the profile of the guy that's going to follow the open. And we know that the Rays are going to continue this program, and he's a 4 or 5 inning guy coming in after that just seems to be perfectly suited.
Betts started to go and stopped. Didn't like his jump, and Pearce missed the pitch. It's 2-2. Let's see. Talking with Tom Goodwin. You can see him.
Boy, and I don't know why he left on first movement just like you're supposed to, but aborted the
right
takeoff. Yeah.
Ground ball, 3rd. Nice backhand. Duffy's throw to first is going to be wide. Coming off the bag, Bowers to stay in front of it. Great effort by Duffy. Pearce is going to get a hit. Duffy had to make the off-balance throw, and it was away from the bag.
And he's way into foul territory, too. Look, he gets the short hop backhand. Look how far he is. And now you've got to throw that falling away off 1 foot. Very difficult throw, and just not able to get it there.
In at first and second. And now J.D. Martinez will face Jalen Beeks. Strike 1. One thing that you can't help but notice about Beeks, regardless of the situation, he really seems to reserve the calmness out there that he carries to the mound. He doesn't seem to be afraid, which is a great quality. Little tap, that'll be charged. Duffy tried to barehand it, but could not come up with it cleanly. And how about these last two hits, especially that one? Martinez has an infield hit to load the bases.
And Dwayne, we've seen this all season long. Some tricky bounces. You know, Matt Duffy is coming in to make this play on JD Martinez, and the ball takes a bounce. Watch his bounce right here. So he's going to come in, bounce to the right, and now he's got to reach back for it with the bare hand. Coming in.
Yes.
And look at that ball. Now he had to change his whole body angle to reach back for that baseball. Had a little bit of action on it as it came off the turf.
So on the little chop, Martinez is aboard. The bases are loaded, and here's Bogaerts. He's been as tough as any hitter in this lineup for Rays pitching. And the pitch is a strike. In 12 games against the Rays, he has 14 runs batted in. Singled in the second. And a liner into left for a base hit. Betts scores. Pierce heads to the plate. Ralston up with 2 runs, and it's 3-2 Rays. Bogaerts continues to haunt the Rays. He is just murder against Rays pitching.
No, he doesn't waste any time. Changeup. And we've talked often about how Beek's changeup has a little bit more velocity than most, at least a smaller difference between fastball changeup, and Bogaerts was right on top of that, not fooled at all by the speed. Now think about this, Dwayne. You go back and realize that was the first time that Beeks had faced Bogaerts here tonight. You go first pitch curveball, slow. Then you go changeup, slow. The changeup was off of it wasn't off of anything, and that's why Bogaerts wasn't fooled.
Not really a changeup. Kinsler pops it up. Swindle out there in shallow center to make the catch. So the inning is over. It's a 3-2 ball game, Rays. Focal point of entertainment at the new ballpark will be the one-of-a-kind outfield experience with unique activities and amenities for all fans. To learn more and provide your input into what you'd like to see, visit ballparkreimagined.com. Here's Matt Duffy leading off the home half, the third. And that's a strike on the corner, says Angel Hernandez. Bowers next, and then Choi. Well, the Rays Trying to go back to work and try to extend the lead again. And a strike. 0-2. Duffy, the first strikeout posted tonight by Velasquez. He has 3, Velasquez. One and 2. Rays have won 7 of their last 10. Pitching has been so good. A 2.38 team ERA during that 10-game stretch.
Or just adequate offense will lead to a bunch of wins. There's Blake Snell, the Rays all-star starter, having a heck of a year, putting his name into the Cy Young Award race talk.
John Blake will be pitching Sunday against Nathan Eovaldi here. It's 2 wide, 2-2. Snell looking for his 16th win here on Sunday. 15-5 right now. That's a base hit into right, falling in front of J.D. Martinez. Leadoff single. The Rays pick up their 3rd hit. Had 2 hits and a couple walks that gave them 3 runs in the 2nd.
Split stays up, stays flat, not much to it. And Matt Duffy just let it get there right to that front stiff leg and shoot that ball into right field. The Rays look to have a quick answer here for the Sox.
Jake Bauers hoping that last night shakes him out of his little slide. He had a couple of hits and a walk, 2 runs scored. Strike 1. The move to first sends Duffy right back to the bag. Rays facing Hector Velasquez, 29 years old, out of Sonora, Mexico. It's been 7 seasons pitching in the Mexican League. Another move over there. Making his 6th start for the Red Sox. The lead. There goes Duffy. The pitch is down, and the throw is going to be in time. Duffy out trying to steal second. Bogarts put the tag on him, the shortstop.
Boy, the Rays are being extremely aggressive tonight on the base pass. There's Duffy, the jump, the throw, and that tag right to the right hip. Swihart does a nice job of getting that ball low, up and out in a hurry. Right there to Bogey. There's the tag.
Bauers now down in the count. 1-2. 6th time this year Duffy has been caught stealing. 9 steals. Bauers is out reaching. Double up on him with that pitch. Bottom falling out, so 2 gone.
Yeah, that's been the pitch here tonight for Velasquez that has been kind of up and down, literally. When it's down, it's very, very good. When it's up, it's gotten hit very hard, and that's the split.
Ji-Man Choi opened the 2nd inning with a double. Fastball taken inside. Choi is starting to push the 270 mark, 268 this time in. And that one tight, but it catches the zone. It's 1-1. Choi checking with Angel Hernandez, wondering the difference between those first two pitches in terms of whether they were on the corner or not. This one in, they stay in. Well off the plate there, 2-1. Adames would be next. And a base hit, another hit for Choi. Off speed. And Choi is aboard, 2 for 2.
Again, hit the ball hard. You know, when you go back and you look at Choi's numbers and get inside of him, look at his well-hit average. Much higher than the major league average. He seems to be able to put that barrel on the baseball more often than a lot of guys. And finds another opening.
Well, if you can get the barrel of the bat to the baseball consistently, you're going to get your share of hits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's that one off the bat, 106.
Adames takes the pitch down. Yeah, the double off the bat was 108. Ground ball, that's going to go through. Base hit into center. Choi will advance to second and hold. Kinsler made a dive for it, but it was past him. And Adames is on for the second time. Base hit following the walk. So with 2 outs, the Rays putting up a threat.
Boy, another hit pitch right out over the plate. That ball spanked pretty good. Gets it by Kinsler. The Rays keep the inning going. And that was another one of those splits that just didn't have that bottom out action. And we have really that pitch for Velasquez tonight has been a coin flip. And that really at the end of the day is not going to be good enough.
There's Kevin Kiermaier. An attempt at a breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. He doesn't throw a lot of curveballs, but tried to get one in on the first pitch there. And comes back with it again. 1-1 on that foul ball. Three-run second for the Rays, a 2-run third for Boston. Ground ball, and that gets beneath the glove of Pierce into right. He'll send Choi to the plate. Throw will not be in time. Up the line toward third, and the Rays have a 4-2 lead. Choi scores from second. Adames goes to third, and Kiermaier is aboard with a base hit. Well, it appeared for a moment that Pierce might come up with that, but the ball stayed down and went into right.
Let's take a look. All with 2 outs. Looked like another off-speed pitch, and you know you can see Pierce's body language right there tells you that he felt he should have gloved that, but it snuck underneath. Yeah, he's up. Ball is down, and that's going to lead to another Rays run. Just keep it going.
Well, with 2 outs, the Rays have answered here in the third. Carlos Gomez will be the hitter. Well, this uprising started on the 2-out single by Choi. Gomez got the first run of the night home with a chopper to third. He's 0 for 6 in his career against Velasquez. But did get the run home. There goes Kiermaier. The ground ball, base hit into left. Adames scores, and the Rays add another run. Gomez, after the first pitch, picks up his second run, batted into the ninth, and the Rays again have a 3-run lead. It's 5-2.
Well, Velasquez just continues to lead pitches right out over the plate. This one's going to be the slider. Not doing much of anything. Staying up, allows Gomez to get his arms extended. They're able to do that, just hammer it by Nunez. All he could do is just fall, dive, try to glove that baseball. Not able to do it. The Rays just relentless here tonight.
Brandon Lau, after the fastball, fouls it back. Strike one. Lau walked and scored in the 3-run second. The Rays have plated 2 runs in the 3rd inning to match the 2 the Red Sox put up in the top of the inning. It's upstairs, 1-1.
You know what? You got to give a lot of credit to this Rays lineup for getting the job done. We've seen other starts that opposing pitchers have made against them where they've made a lot of mistakes early, and the Rays just have not cashed in, and it's cost them. Well, tonight, a lot of mistakes here made by Velasquez, and the Rays are all over him.
Wow, bounces it foul, 1-2. Runs batted in for Lau. 5 of 37. The ground ball, right side. There's a base hit. Kiermaier's going to head to the plate. Throw on its way, cut off, and the Rays come up with another run. Brandon Lau comes through with a base hit, and the Rays make it 6-2.
Dwayne, the split finger here tonight for Velasquez is doing nothing, and it has really hurt him. Yeah, that's a pitch that you wanted to tumble, the bottom to drop out, guys to swing over the top of it. These are just kind of floating in there. Easy for the opposing hitters to pick up on, and they've been finding holes.
Well, 6 hits here in the inning, 8 in the game. The Rays have put 5 hits together consecutively. Now it's Michael Perez. Swing and a miss as the runner heads down to second base. So Lau moves up. They credit him with a stolen base. Three runs in the second inning. 3 more runs in the third. All of this with 2 outs. And a liner. Foul. Oh, just foul. Boy, that would have given the Rays 2 more. And an extra base hit for Perez. He just barely missed a double there.
Ends up being a little bit too quick to the off speed. And that's how far.
Alan Porter on the call. Got it right. It's fouled back. 6 hits here in the inning for the Rays. It ties the season's high. Drew Pomerantz up in the bullpen, veteran left-hander. 4th time this year the Rays have collected 6 hits in 1 inning.
And 5 of them with 2 outs. Nobody out.
Pitch low there, 1-2.
That's why you just never can give up on an inning.
Yep.
You know, 2 outs, nobody on. What are you going to muster here? Well, look what the Rays have mustered. And they got runners on second and third here. Could get 2 more.
Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Whereas the 8th Ray to hit in the inning. And Joey Wendell is on deck. Ground ball, there's a base hit. Gomez scores. They'll send Lau. He will cross the plate. 2 more runs home. And the Rays bats continue to stay hot here in the third to make it 8-2. Michael Perez comes through. He has 4 runs batted in tonight already. Well, they're wearing out the hole on the right side of the infield.
Breaking ball stays up. That has been the theme of the night, especially with the off speed and a lot of hangers.
And that's going to be it for Velasquez. 6 hits in succession, 7 in the inning. And the Rays are building a big lead here. 8-2 the score. Call to the bullpen for Boston, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. And chased Hector Velasquez from the game. 72 pitches for the Red Sox right-hander. He leaves responsible for a man on. And the new pitcher is Drew Pomeranz, on to face the left-handed bat of Joey Wendell. First pitch is a fastball too close. 2 2/3 for Velasquez. 9 hits, 8 runs, responsible for a man on. Struck out 4, walked 2. And now it's Pomeranz. And there's a strike, 1-1, a season high. 7 hits for the Rays here in the third. They had 2 doubles in the second and 7 singles here in the third inning. Strike on the corner, 1-2.
It would be interesting to go back and look at all the Rays hits and see how many of them came on off-speed pitches that really just stayed out over the heart of the plate with not a lot of action on them. A tough night for Velasquez, not able to make that adjustment and fix the issue.
2-2.
And didn't get away with many, if any.
Things just continue to unravel for Velasquez. 2-2 count on Wendell.
I'll tell you, I've had those nights, And it makes for a brutal night of sleep as you replay every pitch and all the mistakes that you've made. Tough to put that one behind you. You absolutely have to do it. You've got to do it quickly. But tonight, tonight, not fun.
Wendell stays alive, fouling that one away. And an active lineup so far.
Wendell needs to get on the board. Mendel, excuse me, needs to get on the board. And then JB coming up here in a couple hitters.
Lifted toward left center. Bradley on the move for it. Is there and makes the catch. 9 men come to the plate for the Rays. They rebuild the lead. It's 8-2 after 3.
Players Weekend, and they have selected nicknames for their jerseys. We wanted to go through some of our favorites, and one of mine is Tyler Glasnow's. It says Mini Horse, and that's because I guess when he was earlier in his baseball career, very scrawny but still 6'8", and people said that he was awkward like a mini horse. And what's interesting to me, Statsy and Brewhead, are that some guys go with nicknames that have to do with their actual name. Others go for phrases, and guys like him or CJ Crone, who went with Big Fella, go with descriptions of their body types.
Well, you never know where a nickname is coming from. High foul up the right side and out of play. You know, some of them are self-labeled. The good ones usually are those that are not. They come from without.
Organically.
Yes.
From outside.
High fly ball right. It's Gomez into foul territory. How about the Rays in the 3rd inning? They went 7 for 9 in the 3rd inning. And the push-ups continue.
Well, listen, that was a 50 push-up inning right there.
Look at that. They're giving him a lot of moral support too. Ozzie going right after him.
Proceeds meeting their fate on the back of Timmons.
There you go. Even a miss. Count to Swihart, who's 1-1.
Off-season Mr. Olympia.
I'll tell you, he's going to be in even better shape when the season's over than when it started. Going through spring training and all of that. Rays scored 3 in the second, Boston 2 in the third, the Rays 5 in the third. Swihart takes all 2. Takes care of Swihart. Third strikeout for Beeks.
And that's all you do. You're not pitching to the scoreboard, you're pitching to the opposing lineup, and you just continue to attack them. You follow the scouting report, make pitches just like that, a quality fastball in the outside corner. One pitch at a time, one out at a time.
Jackie Bradley Jr. bats with 2 outs, bases empty.
How about Jackie Bradley Jr.'s bat? I'm going to personalize everything, but he's got a unique bat right there.
There's a strike, 1-1.
It's a 34-inch barcode.
Make a good countertop. Fly ball back into left and back to make the catch. Lau a step from the wall to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning. We'll take a look at Lau in left. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 8-2 Rays. Brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. Things are going swimmingly for the Rays so far tonight. We've moved to the bottom of the 4th. 8-2. Matt Duffy will lead it off against the lefty Drew Pomeranz. Which is low. Duffy, Bowers, and then Choi. High popper on the infield. It's Kinsler waiting for it. Away. Well, 11 of the last 15 hitters facing Velasquez managed to reach base. As the Rays in the 3rd inning scored 5, batting around for the 14th time this year. Jake Bowers. It's a strike on the outside edge. Foul ball, runs it to 0-2. Step back by Bowers. 8 runs off the starter. And Pomeranz to the plate. And a foul ball to stay alive. Back into the screen. See Choi on deck back there. The count is a ball and 2 strikes now. G-Man Choi 2 for 2 with a couple runs scored. It's base hit with 2 outs that started all the fun in the 3rd. Bowers battling the lefty. Ground ball, backhanded by Kinsler at second. 2 up and 2 down. Kinsler taking care of the pop-up by Duffy, and now the ground ball by Bowers. G-Man Choi. Double single, a stolen base tonight. 3rd base, no less. Takes ball 1. Choi hitting .277. Good. 2-0 in the count.
Pomeranz, a big pitch for him. Obviously, it's his curveball. Gets a lot of depth to it. Likes to go to it often.
Three and nothing.
Just having one of those at bats. Bounce the curveball, try to make the adjustment, leave it way up in the zone. Okay, forget that for the time being. Let's go to the fastball. Yanks that off the plate, and another one.
And Choi is on for the 3rd straight time tonight, drawing a walk. He's aboard with 2 outs. Willie Adames, who has walked and singled and scored twice, also picking up a steal. And away to Adames. Fly ball deep, straight away center. Bradley Jr. is going to run out of room. That baby's gone. Home run for Willie Adames. Home run number 8 for Adames. The Rays take a 10-2 lead. Straight away center. Out of the reach of Bradley Jr. and over the center field wall. Adames having a big night tonight. Kiermaier takes a strike. Well, the Rays do it with a walk and a home run. They did it with all singles in the 3rd. They now have 10 runs and 10 hits.
Well, he's the wrong guy to be out over the heart of the plate.
Kiermaier lifts one into left. That'll send Benintendi back a few steps. Side retired, but on a long one to center off the bat of Willie Adames. The Rays scored 2. And at the end of 4, the Rays have built a 10-2 lead. Willie Adames just finishing belting a 2-run homer to make it 10-2. We go to the 5th inning, and Mookie Betts sends a fly ball deep to center. Kiermaier will have a couple steps, and he makes the catch on that one. So Betts on the first pitch. Skies to center field. Back to Adames. The StatCast AI powered by AWS. 103.6 off the bat. 423 feet to center. And Ozzie Timmons at it again. The Rays offense relentless against Boston and on Timmons. And Tindy up here. Ozzie's still smiling.
Oh.
1-1. Pitch is wide. 2-1. Tindy twice has struck out tonight. And he takes a strike on the corner. Two balls, two strikes. Foul ball back. At the start of the night, Benintendi was 10th in the league in hitting, 10th in on-base percentage. Line drive the other way. Base hit. Kiermaier gets that back in there in a hurry, and a single for Benintendi. Benintendi leads the league in opposite field hits and hit that one into left center field. Six hits for Boston, 4 off Beeks. There's a strike to Pierce. It's fouled off his foot, 0-2. Tomorrow night's second game of the series, an hour earlier, don't forget. It's a 6:10 first pitch. And then Sunday afternoon at 1:10. And in the Sunday game, Blake Snell will oppose Nathan Eovaldi. So our coverage tomorrow begins at 5:30. One and two. One on, one out. It's Benintendi, the base runner. Two balls, two strikes. That's a base hit into center. Benintendi stops at second, so with one out, Pierce picks up his second hit, and the Red Sox try to put something together.
Well, four-seam fastball left up out over the plate. We've seen the Rays hitters take advantage of those mistakes all night long. And here, Steve Pearce. They got a long way to go. Being down 10-2, but this is an offense you do not want to mess around with because they are capable of those innings where they're going to put up crooked number after crooked number. So you got to get right back down to work.
J.D. Martinez starting the night hitting .333.
And right here, Perez out there to talk to Beeker about the signs. Runner at second base now and trying to make sure that they have the right series between each other, and then what they're going to do. It's one thing to have the series. You go through the signs. If Jalen decides to shake off the pitch, then all of a sudden, you kind of switch gears and go to a different set. So everybody's got to be on the same page. I think Kyle Snyder's very happy that that had to happen.
It's another mound visit. Benintendi at second, Pierce at first. One out, and J.D. Martinez waits at the plate. It's a strike on the inside corner.
J.D. thinking that pitch may have been in. That's that little dart of a cutter that we're seeing Beeks use quite a bit, and it has been an effective pitch for him and really opens things up around the other half of the strike zone.
Misses up and away. Fastball out there. The Red Sox in August have gone 15-5, hitting .276. They lead the league in hitting overall at .269. Came into this game scoring 701 run. They lead the league in that department. Now 703 runs. 2-1. Two. Sox got out of the gate fast, 17-2. Well, they got great pitching as well as offense in that stretch. They didn't give up much at all, winning 17 out of 19 to start.
It kind of set the tone, didn't it?
Ground ball right side. That's going to go through. Benintendi will score. Over to third goes Pierce. Well, he beat the defense there. Had an opening over on the right side, and Martinez reaching out drives in a run with a base hit.
And that was a really good pitch by Beeks. You're going to go with the changeup down and away. That's a great pitch. Look at Perez is going down to block, and J.D. Martinez, with nobody on the right side, just goes out there and just makes contact. And knowing with nobody over there, that's about all I have to do.
Opportunistic hitting on a very good pitch right there.
There's no fault there at whatsoever. Great pitch by Beeks. It really ends up being a better job of hitting by Martinez, but got the numbers to back that up.
Bogart swings through the fastball. Bogarts, look at this off Ray's pitching. That's what we talked about earlier. Now 418. That's updated with a 2-for-2 night. 16 runs batted in, 1 per game. Fouls it away. 0-2. Pierce at third, Martinez at first. Three consecutive hits in the fifth. He fouls it back. The 0-2 fastball. 110 runs batted in now for Martinez. He came in leading the league in that department. Bogarts with 84 is fifth, including his 2 tonight. And that came in the third. 2-strike pitch, another foul ball. Kinsler on deck. Castillo opened, worked the first inning in 2/3. Ground ball short. Out at second. Out at first on the 6-4-3 double play. Limiting the damage to 1 run. Rays lead 10-3. With exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group in the private party area just steps from the Rays bullpen. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by contacting group sales at 888-FAN-RAYS. Carlos Gomez leads off here in the bottom of the 5th. He's already ahead in the count, 2-0. Brandon Lau next, and then Michael Perez. Three and nothing. I'm not sure I remember the last time Gomez was ahead in the count, 3-0.
It was last month because we brought it up and we're same thing.
There's a strike.
That's
couldn't
like
walk
it.
on 4 pitches.
No, not on Players Weekend.
No.
By the way, is there a more appropriate weekend for a guy like El Fanel?
Probably not. 3-2.
As much fun as this guy has playing the game, and then to get to personalize everything.
Swing and a miss. Well, after getting ahead in the count, Gomez out on strikes.
Boy, I'm not at all happy right now, because you're right, Dwayne. That count had quite the grip on it at 3-0, and got to give credit to Pomerantz for coming all the way back and getting him here with the fastball up.
Brandon Lau with a walk and a base hit, driving in a run. He scored 2 runs. Facing the lefty, a strike to count. Nubber there, foul, 0-2. He scored 3 in the second, 5 in the third, 2 more in the fourth. One and two the count. Two. Rose on deck. And we have a full count.
On the verge of going the other direction, getting ahead 0-2, and then 3 straight misses here by Pomerantz. Well, Beek's getting ready for another inning.
Full count pitch fouled.
You know, you look at that Boston rotation. David Price threw another gem his last time out. Chris Sale on the disabled list right now. Porcello. You know, Pomerantz was going to be a big part of that. It hasn't worked out.
Straight foul.
The way that either he or the team would hope. Relegated to the bullpen at this point. Brian Johnson in the rotation, as well as Hector Velasquez.
It's interesting when you look at that with a microscope. I mean, this team has been so dominant. There's ball 4. And yet you start to see some scenario there where they might not be as strong as they'd like to be when it comes to pitching.
You know, and you're absolutely right. I mean, first of all, you've got Chris Sale on a disabled list. Nobody wants that at all.
Yep.
David Price is red hot. You know, Porcello's had a very good season. You know, Nathan Eovaldi right there coming over from the Rays. And that was in the Beeks trade. He started off red hot with the Red Sox. Things have slowed down a little bit for him his last couple of outings.
Yeah, his last 3 starts, his earned run average is over 6.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Meanwhile, his first 2, I don't think he gave up a run in 15 innings. So it's been like night and day. But you're right, there are some concerns for sure. And I think it starts with Chris Sale. Put on the disabled list, you know, missed some time with some shoulder fatigue. Came back, looked good, but then went right back on with some shoulder fatigue.
Yep. I will say, when we saw Price up there, he threw the ball, pitched about as well as we've seen him pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. And you know, we talk an awful lot about him as far as glove side fastball. And that was for me the key. When he was good glove side fastball, then it set up everything else. Here comes the cutter. I can backdoor the cutter. I've got the changeup. He really understands pitching, and he pitches to both sides of the plate as effectively as anybody that we've seen.
2. So right now, in that rotation, he's the guy.
Yes. Yeah. I think he has finally settled into Boston as well as he probably could ever expect to.
Yep. A couple of little unfortunate missteps, but that seems to be in the past. Fly ball, center field. Bradley is there to make the catch. 2 outs. Well, there you see the numbers on Price, whose nickname is Slim Duncan. 14-6, 25 starts and 3.5 the ERA. He's pitching a lot better than that 3.5 ERA right now.
Yeah, you go back and look from the All-Star break. I mean, he has been dominant.
Pitch inside to Joey Wendell.
As top heavy as the American League is, the top teams still have flaws. You know, look at the Yankees. We were just up in New York, and that team didn't look like their record. It didn't look nearly as strong as what their record would say.
Well, you know, sometimes, and this Boston club, as we said from the outset, 17-2, they just run away from everybody. But when you look at teams who've done that, you know, the Dodgers last year, won 104 games. Well, they lost in the World Series. Seattle, at 116th season they had in 01, lost in the ALCS. Little chopper right side. Kinsler with a toss to Bogarts. Wendell is the last man to hit for the Rays in the fifth, bouncing into the fielder's choice. 10-3 Rays. The double by Michael Perez in the second inning drove in 2 of the 3 runs in that inning. And after the Red Sox had scored a couple, the Rays exploded for 5 runs, 7 hits in the third inning, and added 2 more in the fourth on the Willie Adames home run to dead center. Adames hitting his 8th home run of the year to build a 10-2 lead. The Red Sox with a run in the 5th, so it's 10-3 now. Here in the 6th inning, Kinsler leading it off, then Nunez and Swihart. Kinsler 0 for 2 is struck out and popped out. Beeks throws him a strike. 1-2. Ground ball, that's a base hit. Leadoff single in the 6th. Well, that's 9 hits for Boston, 7 allowed by Beeks. All hits have been singles. And Eduardo Nunez is at the plate. Line drive. Oh, it's caught by Adames. He went back, waited, and timed his vertical leap perfectly to grab that liner off the bat of Nunez. Boy, stamp a star on that play for the young shortstop, Willie Adames. Nice job.
Bonefish Grill, Dwayne, fresh catch of the game, and right here almost got ahead of himself. And then right there, just a little bit of pause, time the leap, good read, set your feet, and go get it.
Cut the foul ball by Swihart.
Watch the little shuffle here with the feet, right there, to set himself, and bring it down.
One and one. One on, one out. 6th inning. About front right there. Nice pitch.
I think I just came across my favorite to this point Players Weekend jersey name.
You think so?
I think so. For me, it's the leader in the clubhouse.
And who has that? Ground ball. It's Duffy down to second. First base not going to be in time, but Duffy, boy, nice job. He had to battle that and stay with it to get the force play on Kinsler. Nicely done. Swihart reaches on a fielder's choice.
Well, it would be a pitcher for the Cleveland Indians.
Yes.
His name is Shane Bieber.
Yes.
And the back of his jersey says, "Not Justin." That's pretty good.
Like it.
I do.
I like it.
That's good.
Jackie Bradley Jr. And a breaking ball is a strike. A little imagination there and a message to boot. Just to make sure. Just to let you know. And again, a breaking ball. Double up on him. 0-2.
Well, for the most part, it's been the fastball, cutter, change up here or there. Now all of a sudden you're starting to see the curveball come into play as he gets deeper into his outing.
Covered up nicely by Perez.
That's the one thing that we do see out of Beeks. Not overpowering by any stretch, firm fastball, but the way that he mixes his pitches and plays them off one another, for the most part, he does a very good job of that.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Beeks starting the 3rd time through the lineup, and he's faced the number 8 hitter Swihart, got him to ground into a fielder's choice, and now the number 9 hitter, and he gets him to chase the fastball up. That takes care of Boston in the 6th inning. Nunez victimized by Adames at shortstop right there. Rays lead 10-3. And hitters tonight, visit CanesStrikeout.com for a printed home voucher to take to Canes Furniture within 7 days and receive a coupon for 2 free tacos and chips at participating area Tijuana Flats locations. Restrictions apply. Which is a strike call to Duffy. Duffy, Bowers, and Choi. 1 strike. The liner up the right side, foul. Oh, hey, how about that play down in front of the bullpen?
I'm not sure if he overran it or it took a Tropicana Field hop, but it ended up behind him in a nice reach back play there. And Sergio El Michon giving him some love.
There you are. Look at that. A little flare, too. Back into the screen. Another foul ball by Duffy. Bullpen's a great place, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. You know, even when I was starting on the day after or the second day after my start, I would go down and hang out with the bullpen guys. I felt like I fit in better with them, even though I was a starter. So I'd give myself one day per turn to go down and hang with the bullpen guys, because it is a blast. It's a different world. But I'll tell you what, when it gets later into the game, it becomes very serious down there.
Ground ball short. Guards takes care of that. Duffy is the first out in the 6th. Well, tomorrow on Rays Live, Players Weekend continues, and the pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers will continue to acknowledge that. And we'll have a breakdown of Jackie Bradley Jr., JBJ, and Kevin Kiermaier, a.k.a. the Outlaw. BA breaking down those 2 center fielders. Yeah.
I got a little head start on the homework.
Advance notice. Out there, Bowers straightens up.
So, okay, and you can help me. My first thought. I'm breaking down JBJ and the Outlaw, so there's going to be a lean towards defense, right?
Yes. Seems like a good idea.
Especially because Kiermaier had just come out and said, hey, listen, Jackie Bradley Jr. deserves the Gold Glove, especially after that play that he had made, was asked about it at Fenway Park. So these guys, 2 of the better glovemen in the game at any position. I'll bet you that's the connection.
I think that would be a great starting point.
But you never know.
That's why we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, well, then there's also the follow-up question. And that you really don't ever know.
Brian Stanek up in the bullpen now.
It could be on Stanek.
Yeah.
Got to be ready.
Yes. Yep. Well, the unknown makes it interesting.
It does.
There's a pop-up foul ball. Swihart makes the catch. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. How about G-Man Choi tonight? He's been on base all 3 times and has scored 3 runs. DH Deluxe tonight with a double, single, and a walk. 3 runs scored, and he's thrown in a stolen base of 3rd, no less. Part of a double steal. Fouls it. Tied up a little bit by the fastball from Pomerantz. Foul ball, and the count could be 0-2. Close pitch there, taken for ball 1, 1-2. 2-2. The Rays lead 10-3 over the Red Sox, scoring their runs in the second, third, and fourth innings. A 5-run third. And now another close pitch, and he takes that for ball 3. Very keen eye by Choi here in this at bat on a couple of these pitches.
You know, it's good pitch recognition and understanding. I'm not going to be able to get to that pitch. Ends up being right 3 straight times, and we've seen another 0-2 count go to full.
And he pops it up on the left side. It's Bogarts taking care of it. A 3-up, 3-down inning. We're headed into the 7th, 10-3 Rays. Time for our Chevy Prospect Spotlight. Couple of lefties there. And through Liberatore, the 16th overall pick in this year's draft. The Gulf Coast League Rays, an 0.98 ERA in his first 27 2/3 innings. And Shane McClanahan, big lefty with big velocity, sometimes around 100. 31st pick overall.
Yeah, that's that case too. You know, you've got 2 accomplished college pitchers that are starting out in rookie ball.
Yeah, now they're moving up a little bit.
Yeah, really, where they don't really belong, but you're also indoctrinating them into the organization, keeping them close by, teaching them, you know, kind of how they do things.
Yep.
And once they get their feet underneath them, you go, okay, now we're gonna start to press things a little bit.
It'll be interesting to watch the 2 because McClanahan here at USF, a college player.
Yeah,
the other one a high school guy.
Right.
It was interesting.
But obviously,
see the progression.
Well, you see, I mean, he obviously is the first of the first-round picks, and how advanced he is at his age. You know, playing in that rookie league, and you know that's also why you see him with more innings. 27 plus, and the ERA at .98. So he more or less earns his way up to the next one, where McClanahan is already kind of past there. So you've got these guys moving up, and we talked about it before, all of the different levels and all of the winning that's going on at the different levels.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that's important. Regardless of what people might think about development, it's important they win. First hitter up here is walk Betts, and now Benintendi takes one up and in for a ball. I'll tell you, you don't want to win at the expense of development, but if you can develop and win at the same time, what a great combo.
You know, that's interesting. It's funny because I was driving in today and listening to an interview on national radio, and Heimblum was talking about just that at the big league level, because he was pressed, being asked some pretty poignant questions about the team and the direction of the team, and he was asked about, well, but this group, you've made all these trades in the offseason, trades during the season. You've got a whole new group of players up here, young, but they're doing what you don't really want them to do. They're winning. They're winning. You'd rather have them not win, for the big picture plan. And Heim's point was, well, no, we want this young group to win. We want them to learn how to win together. As we put these pieces and add pieces and make different moves, we want this core young group that we feel can be here for a long time and really can compete in the near future. We want them to learn how to win, and that's exactly the point he was trying to make, and it applies all the way down the line.
Yeah, and there are some guys here who came up through that minor league system winning, and they get to the big leagues and expect to be winners. I think Bowers is a guy like that. Adames is a guy like that.
You want to have the guy that is willing to be happy going home.
Blue sharply hit one hot window to Adames. That's one. Over to Bowers, and that's two. Benintendi grounds into the 4-6-3 double play.
You want the guy that's willing to go home 0 for 3 and the team won, as opposed to the guy that went 2 for 4. Team, as we watch the double play, the guy that goes 2 for 4 and team loses, and he's perfectly happy.
Absolutely. Gotcha.
And that's what you're starting to accumulate.
Steve Pearce, swing and a miss. But I think the difference is you start to see, not necessarily that they're overconfident, but you want them to be confident. They come to the big leagues with the expectation of winning, not the hope of winning. Hope's not a real good game plan, but the expectation of winning. And I think that's what we've seen in some of these young players.
I'll tell you.
2-1 to count on Pearce.
I think that you're going to play the rest of this season out. We'll see how hot these guys can get and how they finish. It's been fun to watch the transformation take place during the course of the season, and I think the next season and the season after that have a chance to get real fun around here. I mean, real fun.
Here's the thing, and I think they'll be challenged, without question. You come up and win a bunch of games, and now you come back the next year. And I think the mood has to be set. There's still a lot to accomplish here. Sometimes you've seen it. A guy will come up, have a good rookie year, and that second year struggle.
Right.
Well, you got to have the right mindset, individually and collectively.
Well, and that goes back to building that core group with the expectation to win. High character guys, work ethic guys, all of that stuff. I think that it's not just the physical tools. Those are great, and it's a great place to start, but you need that other stuff that kind of
and I think this group has I think it has some of it. There's ball 4.
And I think that by design, I think that the Rays, the front office is smart enough to say, hey, there's some great tools here, but what's behind the closed door? And you like a lot of that too.
And this front office is pretty low key, but they've done some great things. They're not going to run that flag up the pole just yet and start the dancing, but they've done a very nice job of rebuilding the minor league system, and now with some picks, and you're seeing what's happened, and some pretty good deals.
Well, just think about it, and that's exactly how the interview with Heim started, is look at the turnover from the off season and then into the season, and he listed out every single trade that was made, and he's like, and yet you continue to win. That's the thing. You completely gut a team, and you don't miss a beat. In fact, you may be playing better.
This one is down 1-1.
And so how you do all that on the fly, lets you know kind of the decision making, how solid it's been.
Yep. And I've seen an article or two about Kevin Cash and recognizing his hand in some of this, which is well earned. Down to third, Duffy takes care of J.D. Martinez. 7th inning stretch time with the Rays leading 10-3. Seventh inning stretch time at the Trop with the Rays holding a 10-3 lead over Boston tonight, opening their 3-game series on the heels of the sweep over Kansas City. Jalen Beeks following Diego Castillo to the mound tonight. Castillo the opener, and Beeks came on with 2 outs in the second. Willie Adames to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. And the first pitch from Drew Pomerantz is a ball. Walk, single, and a home run for Adames tonight. On base 3 times. 3 runs scored and 2 runs driven home. With the strike, says Angel Hernandez. Thomas now with his average over 260. Fouls it back 1-2.
Well, this was a guy, Dwayne, that on at the end of play on July 30th was hitting 197. Got it up to 200 the day of the trade deadline. And then, like you said, up over 260.
And he is out on strikes there, trying to check on the pitch up, and retired for the first time tonight with 1 out in the 7th inning. Let's check in with Michelle. How have you been?
I've been doing well, Dwayne. Thank you very much. Well, because Players Weekend is league-wide and not just team-wide, I checked in with some of the Red Sox and figured out what their nicknames were. And Ian Kinsler is going by Bootsy today, and I asked him why that was. He said back in 2007, he broke his foot, and Ron Washington, his manager at the time, just thought it was funny because he was walking around in a boot, so he called him Bootsy, and it stuck. When he went to Detroit, Dave Clark called him that, and then David Price started calling him that. So Bootsy has stuck for now 11 years, and this is the 2nd year in a row that he's been going by Bootsy on the back of that jersey.
Yeah, well, there's a ball hit to short and a great stop by Bogart, and he got Kiermaier. Oh my goodness, what a play by Bogarts. Moving to his right with Kiermaier running. He got rid of that ball quickly enough to get the call at first. That turned out to be some play.
Yeah, the Rays looking at it right now on video, but regardless, that play by Bogarts, Kiermaier running, and we know how he gets up the line. He's got to get rid of this right now. and still gets enough on it. That ball, wow.
I think they're going to take a look at it.
See.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think so. Here's the foot coming down. Yeah, but he's going to be out. Wow.
Very, very close over there, and some play. The Rays challenge it. Angel Hernandez and Alan Porter huddling over there. Hernandez, the crew chief. And out is the call after all of that. And confirmed, we hear.
Now, it looked to be pretty clear cut. Rays taking a chance right there.
Cut and a miss by Carlos Gomez. Strike one. A strikeout, and that great play by Bogaerts to prevent Kiermaier from picking up an infield hit. 0-2. Gomez, who singled in a run and scored in the third. Also got a run home with a chopper down to third in the second inning. Hunter Wood up in the bullpen. Pitch a little low. Pomeranz trying to encourage Angel Hernandez to call out a strike with a move toward the dugout, but no strike forthcoming. One-two. Reaches out and sends a foul up the right side. That will carry out a play. Two outs, bases empty. Seven in a row retired by Pomeranz. Big inning for the Rays was the 5-run, 7-hit third when they sent 9 men to the plate. Willie Adames added a 2-run homer in the fourth. Ground ball shortstop for Bogart with the pick and the throw. He is fancy out there at short and steady. We go to the 8th. 10-3 Rays. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, Let's go places. And by your local Honda dealer. Hunter Wood will be the new pitcher for the Rays, their third of the night, following Diego Castillo and Jalen Beeks. Wood on for the 18th time.
Well, more than a strikeout in an inning. ERA of 3.86. Another guy who has gotten opportunities to open ball games, 8 of them so far.
He'll face Xander Bogaerts in the 8th. Pitch is a strike.
You know, you're starting to see the opener and the piggyback guy, the tandem start to take hold here. You know, you had Stanek Yarbs. And then tonight you get Castillo Beeks for the second time. Get some Wood Chirinos.
Get Joe Kelly up in the bullpen for Boston now. One and two. Two, breaking ball low. Kinsler on deck. And a base hit the other way. Bogaerts reaching out, picks up his 3rd hit of the game. Well, I'll tell you, against the Rays, I mean, Bogaerts has great offensive numbers anyway, but boy, oh boy, does he punish Rays pitching. Another 3-hit game, 2 RBIs tonight. Each team now with 10 hits, and here is Ian Kinsler. Is up. Kinsler 1 for 3. As Michelle pointed out, his nickname Bootsy. Really surprised to see an infielder carry that nickname, though. And it's a strike, 1-1. It's like a hitter who has trouble making contact, and strikeout is his nickname.
Yeah, no. What you said was
a foul ball deep down the left side, 1-2.
I was trying to concentrate and look something up, but you're right. Bootsy's a really, really bad nickname for an infielder.
Yeah, I think
kicking it around.
You're going to give me that nickname? Yeah. What do you mean by that?
It's a good observation. You get the story behind it, you're like, oh yeah, it makes some sense, but then you practically apply it to the position, and you're like, that's not too good.
Absolutely. I mean, here's a guy who's won a Gold Glove. So how could he have a nickname called Bootsy? And even though he might have had a cast on.
Ron Washington.
Yeah. Well, I guess if he gives it to you, you're going to take it. Foul right back. Nope. Two the count. And that's a base hit. Ball slashed the other way. Wood met here with a couple of singles.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it, Dwayne, because what he did is he took that ball that was moving away and used it against him. Look at how he just goes down there and slaps that ball to the open side. He gets that little slider moving away and just slaps it into right field. So here you go.
Eduardo Nunez. Strike the count. One and one. Nunez line to short. That was that leaping catch made by Adames back in the 6th. And it's wide, 2-1. Wood trying to retire his first hitter in this game. Up a strike to even the count at 2-2. Orioles had a 4-2 lead on the Yankees in Baltimore, but the Yankees have tied that game in the 8th, 4-4. Foul back. New York starting the day 9.5 back of Boston. Nunez out of there. There's that first out of the inning. Strikeout number 9 for Rays pitching. Yankees atop the AL wild card race with Oakland in it. Seattle 4 back, and the Rays listed at 9 back in the wild card race now with this run the Rays have made. To go 67 and 61. And a base hit the other way. Bogarts will have to hold at third. Swihart got it to the left of Duffy. And the bases are loaded on 3 singles in the 8th with 1 out.
Well, Kyle Snyder coming out here to try to calm this momentum down. Boston Red Sox lineup very powerful, capable of striking quickly and striking in big numbers. So even with the 7-run lead, you want to go out there and get out ahead of this, and that's what Snyder's doing right now.
Well, MLB TV is now available at a lower price for $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer. Ryan Stanek will get back up in the Rays bullpen with this uprising of 3 hits, bases loaded, 1 out, and Jackie Bradley Jr. about to step in. Last time we saw Wood was in the Kansas City series as an opener on Monday. Bradley Jr. sends a fly ball into left. Lau coming in. He'll make the catch. The runners will have to hold. So they get the second out on the very next pitch after the visit by Kyle Snyder.
He's 2 for 2.
Working his magic again. And now a bigger challenge with Mookie Betts headed to the plate. That's 0 for 2 tonight, but he's drawn a couple walks and has scored a run. And that's strike one. Slider right there.
Ooh.
He's got some good looking shoes.
Yeah, right there, the green Fenway Park. You can read that. And then you got a selfie on the other one, I think. Right here.
A little creativity here on Players Weekend. Another in 2. Breaking ball.
Pull the string. You know, you go slider at 87, 88, and then a sharp little darting curveball at 76. This thing, Mets just cannot stay back long enough.
0-2 pitch into the dirt.
Nice block.
Boy, I tell you, we've become accustomed to seeing Perez do that.
You know,
Such a nice job back there.
Watch how he wants to flip the glove over and then says, nope, it's going to come up too high. So he keeps the glove up high. That's just really good instinct.
And the body tilted forward.
Always.
Yep. That's just to the point where it's almost a reflex with him.
Listen, those chest protectors on your chest are rounded. If you sit up tall, unless it hits right in the middle, it's going to careen one way or the other. But if you can smother it arms off to the side, you've got a chance to knock it down and keep it in front and keep it close. We see him do it time and time again.
1-2. Ooh, I'll tell you, that was a great pitch right there. 96 at the knees. That was a great pitch.
Well, you see, after that ball got into the glove jerks down and out of that zone. And I think that's one of those pitches that it's a strike. But Angel Hernandez not convinced by the way it was caught.
There's a cut and a miss. Let's see. Did he foul it? Did it hit the ground? I think it did. His reaction was immediate. There's a breaking ball.
Foul tip. Kind of easy.
Oh, yeah.
That close.
Look at that. Could have been, wasn't. And a breaking ball tapped to third. Nice pickup, backhanded move by Duffy, who steps on the bag to retire the side. Good job by Matt Duffy down there at third on this one. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Rays lead this game 10-3.
borderline fastball. Michael Perez behind the plate, who does such a great job. Watch the target, and then as he dips the glove to go down and get it, and how that ball takes the glove out of the zone, and then he pulls it back up, almost a foot right there. And so Angel Hernandez sees all that movement, and while it was a strike, he's not going to end up getting the call.
Yep. And you do see some elite catchers kind of get under that pitch and receive it, and gives the umpire a really good look at a pitch around the knees like that.
And you know what? And you're right, absolutely right. And I think what hurt Perez on that one was you saw how high the target was. So he's talking 96. He had to go down a long way to get that pitch, where if he's a little closer, maybe you can dip that thumb underneath it and make that that difficult frame. Or
absolutely. Perez has been so good back there for the Rays.
He has.
He's been such a pleasant addition. Joe Kelly's the new pitcher. 2-0 the count to Brandon Lau. Lau with a run batted in tonight. Check swing. That ball rolling up the left side. Is it going to stay fair?
It is.
That's going to be a fair ball. There you are. He's been on base all 4 times. That's his second hit. 2 hits and 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and a run batted in.
Been one of those nights for the Rays.
Yep. You know, it'll be fun to watch Perez because he does so many things well behind the plate already. And if he develops that side of his game, he's going to be a premier catcher.
That game that we do at the end of spring training next year.
Yeah. There you go.
To see all the work done in the offseason through camp.
Here is Michael Perez. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike. Perez got a big double to drive in 2 back in the 2nd inning, and then singled home 2 more. So he now has 8 runs batted in for the year, and he's hitting .302. Popped up. Right side. Pierce making the call, and foul ground. 1 away in the 8th. Rays Live, the post game coming up, presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Orestes anchoring the coverage. Disappointed that they haven't donned those socks, however. We'll hear Kevin Cash at his press conference and get a minor league update from around the Rays farm system.
And you know what? By looking at the socks right there of Stanek and Romo, there's a little strip of white around those socks where you can write things on that for Players Weekend right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Alex, Dad.
Well, you can put dollar signs on them. That's Joe Kelly out there.
Jimmy B, if you will.
Wendell goes after that one. Down and in on the slider and missed. 0-2. 1 on, 1 out. Top of the order, Wendell. Duffy will be next. Hot shot foul. He's got 8 runs off the starter Hector Velasquez, 2 runs off Pomerantz. They came on the Willie Adames home run. Now 1 on, 1 out in the 8th against Kelly. Home run for Adames, his 8th of the year. Ground ball left side, and that's going to get by Bogaerts. Up to second goes Lau. You're never sure when Bogaerts is after a ground ball, but that one eluded his range. Tampa Bay Sports Commission, along with the Rays, Buccaneers, Lightning, Rowdies, and USF have teamed up to host a 2-week community-wide Team Tampa Bay for Joey J 50-50 raffle to assist with the financial medical needs of 15-year-old Joey Johnson Jr., who was involved in that tragic accident July 8th. The raffle concludes Monday with the winner drawn on Tuesday. So go to teamtampabayforjoeyj.com to support this worthy cause. Now Matt Duffy. One ball, no strikes. Duffy 1 for 4. It's too wide. 2-0. Man up there at the plate.
Oh.
Kelly a long look in, and Duffy steps back on him, and they're going to have a little visit here, Swihart and Kelly. He'll be pitching in this series against Blake Snell on Sunday. That's a shot down to first. Pierce up with it, out at second, and that's the only one they get. Bogart's down to take the throw, and a little shaky getting up, but appears to be okay. The Rays will come out of that with runners at first and third. Wendell forced on the sharply hit ball by Duffy. Pierce made a nice play.
He really did, and then he's going to throw this ball over towards second base before Bogaerts actually gets there. You see it's a low throw, and he's got to go down and get the bag. Not quite there yet, and forced to go down, and just a little bit of an awkward landing.
Well, Jake Bowers pitches a strike at the knees. This is the only spot in the lineup without a hit tonight. Jake had 2 hits last night, was on 3 times. Takes that pitch away. Each team with a dozen hits. The Rays lead 10-3. There's the breakout top to bottom. And the Rays line up. Fighting down and in. 2-1. Rays trying to win their 6th in a row. That's a shot, but it's foul. Hopping through the bullpen and beyond. 2-2. There you go. Souvenir and a photo op. Bowers out on strikes. So the Rays leave a couple. We go to the 9th. 10-3 Tampa Bay. Good night for Willie Adames. At the plate, Adames connecting for the home run in the 4th inning, his 8th home run of the year, and turning in some outstanding defensive work as well with that leaping grab. And back in the 6th inning, robbing Eduardo Nunez. Hunter Wood back out. He'll face Benintendi with Pierce next, and then J.D. Martinez due up. Andrew Benintendi tonight has a single and a run scored, and fouls away the first pitch at 95, strike one. 10-3 ball game. And that curveball swung on and missed. Nothing in 2. Into the dirt. 1 and 2. Fastball up and away, 2 and 2. Foul ball and a diving attempt, but Duffy comes up just short, just not high enough. He picks himself up, dusts himself off, try it all over again.
Oh. Kind of pulled off that line right there, and that soft little flop right there trying to make that catch, and you see how that glove roll, that can get dangerous on that wrist.
2-2 again to Benintendi, a chop to the right side. Wendell handles this one. 1 away in the 9th. Castillo worked an inning and 2/3. Beeks 5 1/3. Beeks becoming the pitcher of record in this one. Velasquez, the Boston starter, the pitcher of record for the Red Sox. Pierce fouls the back, strike one. Curveball, and he missed that one by plenty. 0-2. Ball, 2 strikes. First pitch tomorrow night, 6:10. Our coverage begins at 5:30. There's a cut and a miss. Well, that's the 10th strikeout for Rays pitching. 2 up, 2 down. Benintendi on the ground ball to second. Steve Pierce on the strikeout swinging. And with the bases empty and 2 gone, J.D. Martinez will be the hitter. Strike. Fastball on the outside corner. Martinez 2 for 4, drove in a run in the 5th. He has 110 runs batted in. Leading the league in that department. Started the night second in homers, second in hitting. 1-1. Betts has been struggling a bit. He went 0 for 3 tonight, a couple of walks, and I guess that's 4 points separating the two of them right now. 2-1. As we discussed earlier, a lot of conversation about that MVP award. I think from J.D. Martinez and his perspective, winning the Triple Crown might be necessary. Ground ball right side. He's going to pick up his 3rd hit. So he's 3 for 5. And the Red Sox will have picked up their 13th hit of the night.
Well, once again, victimizing the Rays to the right side. That fastball down middle. Not going to probably be able to lift that one, but he's got a lot of room to work with, and he just shoots it. Right center field, another hit.
Now Xander Bogaerts, who's 3 for 4 tonight. And the slider is a strike on the outside edge.
You know, J.D. Martinez actually came into the ball game with 155 hits, which led the American League. He just continues to pile that number up.
Foul back. An 0-2 count. Hunter Wood trying to get the final out here in this 10-3 ball game. Chop to 3rd will be foul. Well, maybe if the Rays can get Bogaerts out as the final out of the game, that'll turn things around here for the couple of games that are left in this season series, because he has been so tough against Rays pitching. Rays ready to try about anything now. A little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, at the start of the day, the Red Sox had a 9.5 game lead on the Yankees. The Yankees have hit a home run in the 10th inning in Baltimore to take a 5-4 lead in their game. So they have a chance to pick up some ground. Did he go? He did not. And it's 2-2. Bogaerts not going easily. You know, the interesting thing about that, the Yankees 9.5 back, but if they win and the Rays close this one out, the Yankees will be 7 back in the loss column. So
that's the only one that matters.
Starts to get manageable.
Yeah. Got some head-to-head left. In fact, they finished the season against each other. That's very interesting.
2-2. Foul ball again. Bogaerts obstinate up there. Chaz Rowe up in the bullpen. Hunter Wood's pitch count 45, and the way they use him as an opener and now late, the pitch count matters now. Strike three called him in. Fastball 97 away. And the Rays have taken the first game of the series. It's a 10-3 final here. The Rays take the first game from the Red Sox. And for what it's worth, they become the first team to beat the Red Sox 6 times this year. They're now 6-11 in the season series. For the Rays, 10-12-0 with 5 left. For Boston, 3 runs, 13 hits, no errors, 11 left. Beeks the winner. He's 3-0, 3-1 overall. Vasquez the loser, 7-2. Coors Light, refreshing finish right there.
Perfect pitch at 97. Bogaerts put up a fight in that last at bat, but had no answer for that pitch.
3 hours and 10 minutes to play this game at Tropicana Field. And the Rays win their 6th in a row. They are 68-61. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Rays Live, the postgame comes your way next. We'll see you tomorrow night.